All right, everyone, welcome back to Chapter 7, focused on rhythm in sentences and phrases in English. Just a moment ago, we talked about stressed words, right? Past few activities have been focused on, not stressed words, content words that are stressed in sentences. Now we're going to look at unstressed words in sentences and what kind of words are weakened and unstressed in a sentence. So if we look at this example here, CD2 track 28, I've been looking for a room on campus. Now we can see the stressed words, right? Looking is a content word. It's a main verb in the ing, the gerund form, present progressive. Room is a noun. Campus is also a noun. These are places, right? But look at the other words. I have been for. The ing is the unstressed syllable. It's still part of the content word looking, but for, a, on, and then the second syllable, campus, that's part of the content word there. So what are these types of words here that are unstressed? What kinds of words are weakened or unstressed in a sentence? A rule that we can create here, guys, and you should add to your notes, in phrases and sentences, we generally unstress structure words, also known as function words. Short structure words that create correct grammar, that give us the structure in a sentence, right? Articles, like a and the. Conjunctions, like and or. Prepositions, we see a lot of, for and on. Pronouns, I, you, he, she, we, they, etc. And auxiliary, which are helping words, helping verbs. Have, been are examples. So all of those words there are covered here as function words or structure words. We can use either one of those terms. So just as a practice, it's not an exercise, but just as a practice here, listen to CD2 track 29, and you can see here that regardless of the inclusion of function words, it does not take away from the pattern that's created in the emphasis or stress of content words. It's just like what we did in the previous exercise, right? Except for instead, we're not focusing on content words here. We're focusing on the structure words that come in between that are unstressed, they're reduced in their pronunciation. And regardless of how many there are, it doesn't take away from the general up-down pattern that we have in English, this rise and fall between stressed content words and unstressed function words. And you can see those function words here in exercise 8. So you can listen to CD2 track 29. We'll go through it together and listen for those function words and notice how unstressed, de-emphasized they are. Shark scares child. Boom, 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 right? They're all stressed. All three content words, all three have strong beats. Shark scares the child. Bum, 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 bum. Still three beats, yeah? The is an article. It is not stressed. A shark is scaring the child. Ba-ba, ba-ba, ba-ba-ba. Three beats still. A shark is scaring the child. Article, helping verb. Another article here. A shark has been scaring the child. All of these content words, none of them taking away from the pattern that exist there between strong beats. Snow expected Friday. Snow is expected Friday. Snow is expected on Friday. Some snow is expected on Friday. Ba-ba, ba-ba-ba, ba-ba, right? Still have 3 beats, 3 strong beats for these content words, even though we're adding function words. All right, last one together. Return book tomorrow. Return book by tomorrow. Returned his book by tomorrow. I'll return his book by tomorrow. So in English, you want to make sure that you're distinguishing between content words that should be stressed and function words that should be reduced or unstressed. In North American English, you can oftentimes come across as being angry or mad if you have stress all across all of your words, even though they may not be content words. When you stress function words as well, it gives the feeling that you're angry, right? I have had enough, right? Maybe a mom or dad would say to their young kid, right? If they're messing around, misbehaving. I have had enough, stressing all of those words, even though not all of them are content words. You sound angry. We need this report by noon, right? All words stressed. If every word is stressed, every syllable equally, you come across as being a little angry or rude. So you got to be careful about this, right? It takes us back to the very beginning of the chapter. We talked about it, right? That in English, we have this difference, right? We have this pattern that we looked at the very beginning. And if your first language does not have this pattern, and you're adopting or using that pattern in English, got to be careful. Sometimes you can come across, if you're stressing all the syllables in your speech, you can kind of come across as a little abrasive, right? A little rude. And you think, well, what am I doing wrong? I'm using okay vocabulary. I'm using sir, ma'am, being polite. It's the tone, right? It's the tone and the rhythm that really makes a difference in English. So be mindful of that, especially if your first language is one of those languages that does not have this rhythm between stressed and unstressed syllables. Keep that in mind as you stress those content words and then unstress what we call function words or structure words.